The teams are on their way. Thank you to both Jamies, thank you to Shay and Les. The 2025 Carabao Cup final as the players walk over the teams that they have vanquished on their way to get here to Wembley. Let's join your commentary team. Gary Neville, and first of all, good afternoon to Peter Drury.
Mark, good afternoon. Thank you for the players. The full realisation of who and what they represent. Two great cities, two famous clubs and their people.
Please welcome to the pitch today's chief guests, Rick Barry, Chair.
The sight is magnificent, the sound is overwhelming. Truly today this is a Wembley of the North. Black and white and red all over. The presentation party is led by the chair of the EFL and former Liverpool chief executive Rick Parry, and he is accompanied by representatives of the competition sponsors Carabao, including their CEO Kun Satyen-Tan. A year ago, Virgil van Dijk won it and he lifted it. He introduces today a Liverpool side in substantially better shape now than it was then, albeit potentially compromised by 2 intense hours of European football 5 days back. This became, of course, the final prize for Jurgen Klopp. It can be the first for Arne Slot. Alexander Isak can be Newcastle's point of difference. Eddie Howe, no Geordie, but victory here today, and that status will surely be conferred upon him. The national anthem will be sung by Kane Matthews.
Let's bring in this afternoon's team lineups, and we start with Liverpool FC. In goal number 62, Cleveland Keller.
18 days since last they shook hands at Anfield. 51 years since Liverpool and Newcastle greeted each other at Wembley. The FA Cup final of Keegan and Toshak, McDonald and Tudor. That the first of 9 consecutive Wembley defeats suffered by Newcastle. They are due, but this is Liverpool's to defend. Well, after such a long and training night on Tuesday, Arne Slot demands of the following to lift themselves again. Caoimhin Kelleher, competition specialist, gets this final for the 3rd time ahead of Alisson. With Gomez, Bradley and now Alexander-Arnold all injured, England call-up Jarell Quansah is required to fill in at full-back. Alexis McAllister, withdrawn for extra time in midweek, goes again in midfield. Luis Diaz is one of 4 in this 11 to have started all 3 of Liverpool's most recent League Cup finals. Mo Salah 10 career goals against Newcastle. And Diogo Jota plays up top, one of several to miss out last year because of injury. That leaves the competition's top scorer, Cody Gakpo, on a substantially deeper bench than last year. For Eddie Howe, it's 5 of the 11 who began the final 2 years ago. Goalkeeper Nick Pope was suspended then, but finally gets his moment now. Sven Botman and Lewis Hall are the unlucky defensive absentees. So of these, Tino Livramento is a first-time finalist. So is Sandro Tonali, whose first game back from his ban in August was the start of this League Cup run. Harvey Barnes fills the boots of suspended Liverpudlian Anthony Gordon. Alexander Isak plays his 100th Newcastle game. Indeed, it is the same 20 as were on duty at West Ham on Monday night. The 65th Football League Cup final, the Carabao Cup final, live on Sky Sports, with a special welcome this afternoon to viewers on ITV1 and STV. Liverpool to defend it, to win it for the third time in 4 years, for a record extending 11th time in all. Newcastle United to win it for the first time and to end the most famous, the most infamous trophy famine of them all.
You work so hard to be here. Let's go out to the front. It's up to home run. Are we ready for the home run? Let's fucking do this together. Come on! Come on!
Bosses of similar vintage, Arne Slot, born 1978, the year of Liverpool's first League Cup final. And some 10 months younger than Eddie Howe, who seeks here to become the first English manager to win it since Steve McLaren with Middlesbrough 21 years ago. So Liverpool again, or Newcastle at last. Whatever will be, will be. Already it is quite an event. Now, Gary, let us hope we have a football match to live alongside it.
Yeah, the atmosphere, the build-up's been sensational in this stadium, in the EFL. Great job of presenting this game every single year, but now the game begins. I suppose the biggest question is whether Newcastle will turn up and play. They haven't done quite a few times here at Wembley.
Sure, tumbling, whistle has gone, and I must start the afternoon with an apology if you picked up any bad language amongst the players in the pumped-up moments towards kick-off. Kieran Trippier was Newcastle's captain 2 years ago. He's yielded the armband, but he's an important leader today. And Nick Pope missed out altogether when they played Manchester United here a couple of seasons back.
It's interesting how this has come back into the game. We thought it had gone forever. The lump forward to the big men.
Can't say turned out to be the biggest and won it for Liverpool. Here's Tonali. Joelinton, Shea. Murphy. Lifted away by Robertson. The Liverpool team, which has had 5 full days to recover from the vigour, the emotion and the crushing disappointment of Tuesday night in the Champions League. Because of that, it is, to the extent that it can be, the same side. Just Quansah at right back and Kelleher in goal as points of difference. And here's Murphy taking on Robertson and playing it in towards Isak. Flicked away towards Bruno Guimaraes on the edge of the penalty area, and now Szoboszlai can emerge. Quansah, for whom quite a potential examination today, certainly in the early moments of nerve. McAllister, Jota. Diaz held up by Trippier.
Yeah, some really good battles in the wide areas. All full-backs are going to be tested. There's Trippier. First duel.
His third major cup final. He lost one in Europe with Feyenoord, and then won the domestic cup, as you see there, last year. going along. Van Dijk in front of Isak. It is clearly going to be a critical personal duel. Tonali. Murphy, that's an interesting ball, and Barnes was looking to connect with it.
Yeah, Konza was always aware of Barnes, but he just decided just to let him go. I think he was half playing offside, the Liverpool right back. If you just see him there, he's looking on the line, could have been caught out. Just maybe has to tuck round a little more than that.
Konza hasn't started in the Premier League since the 3-3 draw at Newcastle at the start of December. Since then, he's played a couple in the League Cup, a couple in the FA Cup. Last at Plymouth, beginning of February, and a couple in the Champions League, of course. All at centre-half.
Yeah, and if I was Harvey Barnes, I'd make a couple more runs inside him, just test him on that inside. It's one of the more challenging things for a full-back to know when to let go and pass over to your centre-back.
Memento from left-back for Newcastle in the absence of Lewis Hall. And he's gone to ground, and McAllister is exasperated at hearing the whistle. He was spared extra time against PSG the other night. He looked exhausted as he left the Anfield pitch.
Of a game that Liverpool played in against PSG, and they went out, but sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and say you played in a great game against a great opponent.
Trippier for Barnes, and Barnes for Tonali, and Harvey Barnes again, repelled by Van Dijk, and Newcastle have the game's first corner.
Well, it's really bright. Just isolate Mo Salah on a 1-2 and Diaz, and they both get done. Just can't squeeze it across.
Filling the boots in effect of Anthony Gordon, who was due to be a big part of the game's narrative and dynamic, the missing Liverpudlian. Drifted in by Trippier. Kelleher came through the crowd and got a small piece of it. By Livramento, back out by Szoboszlai, gathered here by Diaz, who's gone early for Salah. Top starting position was good.
Yeah, really good.
Robertson. Held up by Trippier. He had Tonali nagging away at his back, and John Brooks has awarded Andy Robertson a free kick here.
Yeah, he guessed there, the referee. I'm not sure it was a foul. Ended up being a collision, but I think he just got tackled, Andy Robertson. You just see, yeah, he stops it and then they just run into each other. There's not much in it.
So Alexis McAllister and Andy Robertson conspiring over a dead ball for Liverpool. Who have committed everyone bar Ryan Gravenberch to this. And McAllister's ball is much too close to Pope.
Yeah, we're only 7 minutes in, but Newcastle started pretty well and quite confident. Signs a couple of years ago that it was just a little bit too much for them. Eddie Howe's talked about moving hotels away from Wembley so they don't get caught up in the atmosphere and the occasion. They've started a lot better.
Sterlington. Pulled out by Diaz. Good touch from Robertson and then McAllister. Gravenberch driving. Straining every muscle to try and connect. A little bit of chit-chat about his relatively lean experience in major finals up to now, Mo Salah. Just one goal in a major final for his club. And not in the Champions League against Spurs in Madrid. Van Dijk. Towards Jota. Played by Byrne. Konate. So had Byrne tight to him. That's to go a long way.
Yeah, he's made a couple of good runs already. It's going to be crucial on that side. Salah against Livramento.
Conflict of supporters makes for quite a spectacle. Shedding it. Any suggestion that it might be bigger for Newcastle than for Liverpool flies in the face of the red images.
Yeah, I think it was Dan Byrne. Yeah, there's a bit of a bump, I think. There's not much in it. It's not an elbow, certainly. McAllister goes down holding his head, but I'm not sure that's where the contact was.
Once Soboslai. Konate. Set for Jota to chase. Shaw lengthened his stride, Tonali couldn't keep it. His throw, Shooter went to ground, nothing doing. Against Diaz at very close quarters, that hurt. Dan Byrne, potentially of England, this time next week on this field, and indeed on Friday night before then. McAllister, Diaz. Robertson. Kieran Trippier, plenty of history, of course, with Liverpool, part of the Tottenham team that met him in the Champions League final of 2019.
It's interesting over that far side. Just being left by Barnes. Newcastle are just shuffling round. Livramento onto Kwanzaa and Dan Byrne out to Salah.
Guimaraes, Van Dijk saw that importantly because Barnes was scampering through. Guimaraes again, the captain, and in so many ways the embodiment of the team's, the city's emotion. Tonali. Tonali was tugged. Kelleher in Liverpool's goal. His third League Cup final, he's yet to concede a goal. Only Bruce Grobbelaar has played more of these games than he has now in Liverpool's goal. Salah. Played away by Guimaraes. There's tears 2 years ago when Newcastle lost here without really representing themselves in the way they had intended. Sum up the feeling of the city and the team. There has been this suggestion, and Eddie Howe has been happy to articulate it, that there's been deliberately a little bit less emotion this time round. They've tried to be calmer. Share towards Joelinton. Cement that. Into Guimaraes. And now Murphy. Shade hopeful.
Concha went in, both of them went in. I think it's just the fact that maybe his left foot just gave way and he followed through. It's a little bit clumsy from Kwanzaa.
Memento, another one with an England week to look forward to.
Being really positive, Newcastle. They're going man for man when Liverpool have got the ball at the back. Trippier in here on Diaz.
Robertson's clearance came to Trippier. Murphy. Back to McAllister. Now Gravenberch from deep. Quincy going ahead of him. McAllister, Diaz. Salah. Gravenberch. McAllister. Van Dijk. There's Diaz. Trippier with support from Murphy. Diaz. McAllister. Patched up by Bruno Guimaraes and then tackled by Joelinton, who has stayed down. And John Brooks has stopped it.
Yeah, McAllister's just a little bit late. It's good work by Guimaraes and Joelinton, double teaming. McAllister.
They do miss Joelinton when he's not there. He missed a month with his knee injury, played best part of an hour in the Cup against Brighton, the full 90 at West Ham on Monday night, which turned out to be an ideal rehearsal for Newcastle. Just an efficient, functional, winning performance. Joelinton. Memento. Silva Tonali. Joelinton is in charge. And quick to distribute. Robertson going long, Trippier wary of Diaz. Showing his customary poise. Share looking long. And back again. Wary of Isak. Havenberg.
Yeah, they're going to have to be a little bit more clever than that, Newcastle. One ball from front to backs, unlikely to do Van Dijk.
Yes. Konsa. For Soboslai. Shares there ahead of Diogo Jota. Fabian Schär, who set Newcastle on their way to some extent in the second round from their perspective of this competition, with a winning penalty against Wimbledon. That tie apart, they have both had pretty testing journeys this far. Jota. Van Dijk blocking the pass for Isak at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, Smoking Rice is good. His handling of the ball, holding players off, the ability to try and find a pass is excellent.
Murphy will deliver. Isak edge of the 6-yard box, Barnes over his shoulder. And now Dan Burn marching forward to join the mix. Penalty spot or thereabouts with Fabian Schär. Off he went short. Blocked it with Isak, who's penalised.
I think really well, Jota.
Well, there's a couple in attacking midfield for Newcastle today, normally inseparable, but playing from separate flanks, Anton Beck on this occasion, and perhaps looking to feed off them, the centre forward. And none of those 206 goals were here. So 25 years without any goal here. Rob Lees in an FA Cup semi-final, 2000. Available from Jota, back by Trippier. And it's a regular conversation before almost any game of football, but there is a sense around this that the first goal could be so important. Last 8 teams to score first in this the League Cup final have gone on to win it.
Too much action in and around the penalty areas yet, but it's not from the want to try, and both teams are trying to get it forward quickly. Just defenders on top at the moment.
Forward by Schär, back out by Konate, down now by Isak, and Barnes is scampering. It's Harvey Barnes. Isak. Set here for Tonali. Sandro Tonali gave it a bit.
Oh, traps Eddie Howe. There hasn't been much action in the attacking thirds. I thought Isak maybe should have played it across first time, but decides to go back. Tonali decides to go alone. He sets it up for himself.
Coming forward by Byrne, against whom the whistle is blown.
You just can't get the ball to Mo Salah at all, Liverpool, in his first 20 minutes or so. Just try and get him one-on-one with Livramento on that side.
And from Konate, Cher kept it from Diaz, and Trippier again immensely calm.
You see Newcastle defending pretty well.
It's a super ball from Bruno Guimaraes. It's Murphy. It's Konate up and over his own crossbar.
Well, he's having a go at him, Isaac, and he's right. He's saying, why didn't you put it in first time? You waited for Konate to get back. Just be off anyway, but you should play it in first time into that space and let Isak take on Konate. But once he delays, Liverpool centre-back recovers. Just discussing it there, the pair of them.
"25 goalless minutes in. Weak spring sunshine at Wembley. Trippier's deep corner, Burns header, Guimaraes wrapped up by Kelleher.
The space Guimaraes when it first came to him, but it got stuck under his feet. He went at the back post. He just gets smothered.
Robertson, space ahead of Jota, Diaz wide of him, Salah through the middle. Here's Diaz. Alexis McAllister with Memento's header out. Pass for touch.
Before about Mo Salah and finals, but Liverpool do need to get him into this game.
Isak has stolen, Konate stole back. Memento bites in, Jolinson goes in for more, it's a Liverpool ball.
They're doing a good job over on that far side. This is Mo Salah's game so far. 25 minutes in, he's not usually restricted like that.
In the Champions League, of course, he did have a big early chance or two. Nuno Mendes making that close-range block. That might have made the difference. They are a magnificent sight. Undiluted, one-eyed, one-club city. And one day, they'll crack it. Perhaps today. Diaz went over Trippier, free kick given.
Yeah, there's definitely more space over here for Diaz.
Flicked in by Robertson, away by Cher. His first two, and he'll settle for a corner.
There's a chance that Liverpool have had to put the ball into a dangerous area with bodies in the box. Say in and around Pope with Salah.
Robertson's corner, Joe Linton near post. So again. Murphy shot him down. Robertson turned 31 on Tuesday. So all over to Newcastle again. Off by Livramento. Share. There's a fair bit of acreage here for Murphy if he could get behind Van Dijk, but that is easier said than done. Robertson, Diaz is on his way here, and there is no flag. Terrific tackle from Pope, and now there is a flag.
He committed Pope, and that's one of those where the flag doesn't go up, and there could be a collision that causes an injury, but he's well off. He's a couple of yards ahead of the last Newcastle defender, and then this collision stroke challenge happens.
Jostling with Barnes. Konate caught on it by Tonali. And he's won the Magpies a corner. Trippier will deliver again. Burn of vast inconvenience. Joe Linton right on the goalkeeper's toes. By Trippier, out by Van Dijk. Tonali. Trippier to whip it again. Burn competing with Kelleher. He's trying to see it bounce behind.
Yeah, beat them all. Well, it's been a decent half an hour for Newcastle. It was at this point in the final a couple of years ago it started to go wrong for them. Conceded in the 34th and 39th minute. So far, Eddie Howe. His team have competed well.
It's 5 of the same 11 as played Manchester United 2 years ago. Notably, the front three, of course, is entirely different. Number on Wilson, Saint-Maximin, then. Diaz has taken a hit. And John Brooks wants a quiet word. Just with the skipper.
Just have a word with him, the referee. He knows what he's doing there, Kieran Trippier. I used to do it myself. It can be quite dangerous.
Provocation, of course, personally for John Brooks as well. Young man to be in charge of this game. He's only 34, the ref.
And you know someone like that when they're up in the air and off balance can cause a problem.
Yeah, I think that the way he's just jumped in, I think John just pulled him out just to say it's not his first foul. I think he's committed another one on Diaz as well, so it's probably his final warning. So next time I'd expect a caution.
So stopped by Trippier. There's a goal kick. Jurgen Klopp said of last year's final that despite everything else he had achieved with Liverpool, that was one of his favourites in context, given what he had available. And the slot who has so seamlessly replaced Klopp has a very different dynamic here, a different kind of poise. You might say of him and them, but they are less emotional this year. Murphy. Barnes. In by Barnes and Isak and Trippier.
Robertson did a good job, really good job twice. He's holding the back against a couple of them, and Isak just heads it against him, and then he gets a second block in. Isak would have wanted to have looped that over into the far corner. He heads it down.
This time Kieran Trippier with outswing. Cher poised right at the back of the queue. And likewise Dan Burn, who's won his header, and it got a flick from Guimaraes.
And what they're doing with these corners is taking Konate and Van Dijk out of the game, because they're in the middle protecting that 6-yard box, and yet Burn, who's a giant, just keeps coming round the back on the Trippier-driven crosses, which means that they're always getting the first contact.
Of course, the goal that Guimaraes scored at West Ham on Monday night was from a not dissimilar position. Feeding off that very kind of scenario.
It's been a barren 35 minutes for Liverpool, so unusual not to see them attacking that final third. You see Salah cutting in his left foot, Diaz onto his right, getting shots away. Credit to Newcastle for the way in which they defend, but Liverpool haven't got the game going at all.
John Brooks there had charge of the Championship playoff final here at the end of last season, Leeds Southampton. He's awarded this free kick, for which again Burn has lumbered forward. By Kieran Trippier, by Van Dijk. Forward again by Murphy, kept by Joe Linton, flicked in by Cher, cleared by McAllister, on by Soboslai, and then by Salah. It's Murphy's back header, Diaz still interested, Pope had to come, and Cher had to protect him. Forward by Guimaraes, and again by Van Dijk, calmly.
Guimaraes and Tonali are doing well in there, edging that midfield battle.
Concert driving, prepared to take on Joe Linton. Joe Linton is not prepared to be passed.
Yeah, it's a great piece of work from Joe Linton. Look at them, they're up for this. We are in the age of tackles being celebrated like a goal.
Was a fabulous bicep to bicep wrestle.
Well, Trippier's got a problem, which would be a blow for Newcastle. He's holding his hamstring and he's pulled his right short up there. See, it's not a good sight. They don't need disruption.
Potential replacements. Emil Kraft is on the bench for Newcastle. Also Matt Targett. Livramento could come over to the right. And this Targett aware of that possibility. Soboslai's taken a hit to the back of the head. The referee is obliged to stop it under those circumstances. There's a few requiring paracetamol after all that.
I mean, Konate just falls on top of Joe Linton, there's nothing in it. Might be a pleasant one for both of them. Just back Newcastle, number 7. They just knock heads together yet.
But Gary, given the narrative there has been around Newcastle that in recent years when they've come here they've underperformed, it's gone flat very quickly. If you were in a Newcastle shirt or holding a Newcastle scarf there, would you be encouraged that it's different this time?
No, definitely. It's been a good start. I think they've been most importantly, they've been concentrated and focused. They've got a plan, they're sticking to it. They're not allowing Liverpool any space in midfield, which in turn is stopping Liverpool feed Salah. And that's critical. We haven't seen Salah this quiet for a long, long time. He's hardly seen any of the ball.
And there's more after this. Premier League, Leicester, Manchester United to come.
Oh, it's handball, is it?
Trippier pulled it away.
He's definitely hit Trippier's hand, I know that. We're very close to it up here. It's whether they'll just probably let him get away with it.
It has been checked and cleared by the VAR Stuart Atwell.
VAR is saying that his arms are out for balance, just takes it a little bit away from Diaz. I think in Europe it's a penalty. I think in England we're probably all agreeing that we wouldn't like it against us. You always know when the VAR is not sure when he carries on talking to the referee for about a minute after explaining.
Gravenberch, Jota, through goes Diaz. Across cannily comes Kieran Trippier to slam the door shut.
He's still rabbiting in our ear, Mike, to justify his decision.
I kind of understand what Stuart's saying. I think his wording is probably just about right. It is for balance. That's come off Trippier's foot, bounced up and hit his hand. His hand is outstretched a bit for balance, but for me, definitely no penalty. Definitely no penalty.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a penalty. It's just we do see them given, don't we?
We do in Europe, as you said, definitely.
Mo Salah's had 3 touches in the last 20 minutes. I can't believe he's had a more. He's not touched the ball as much.
Livramento just beyond Isak.
I think they've worked it really well over that side from the attacking perspective and defensive perspective. Newcastle. Harvey Barnes is coming inside, just allowing that space for Livramento to get into it. They just haven't fed him yet. That'll be the one negative that Eddie Howe would have at half time. Just the creation of chances.
Jolinson, share.
Just in this position here, Livermento's on the field day. Salah's not going with him.
Gravenberch. He's not lured into indiscretion.
He's doing a good job. He's getting across with Kwanzaa. It's not half-time, we'll be wanting a lot more from McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai on the ball.
It's going long again, and back saw it again, down by Tonali.
Yeah, they're getting done in midfield, that Liverpool 3, which is unusual.
Murphy, Kwanzaa, and indeed Harvey Barnes. Stevie G knew the best and the worst of the League Cup final, 3 times a winner, scorer of an infamous own goal also against Chelsea in Cardiff in the early years of this century. Ian Rush scored more goals in this competition than anyone else. Kenny Dalglish played in 5 League Cup finals for Liverpool, won 4 of them all in a row at the start of the 1980s, and then managed in 2 more, 25 years apart. Lost to Arsenal in 87, beat Cardiff in 2012. Trippier taken up here by Harvey Barnes. And Konate closed him down.
Yeah, they win a lot of second balls, Newcastle. Just been sharper. Van Dijk and Konate not altering their positions. See where Dan Burn is there, right in front of you, and those 2 Liverpool centre-backs standing strong in the position where most goals are scored on a corner.
Ticking up to 45. Trippier with drift. In goes Burn! It's the boy from Blythe! A Wembley goal for the first time in a Geordie generation!
Oh, it's black and white bedlam, and I've never felt Wembley shake. But it's been coming, and Konate and Van Dijk stayed where they were. They're discussing it. Should we have moved? Dan Burn feels like he's won every single first contact on a corner, and he's pulled out, and Trippier's delivered, and so has Dan Burn. What a header! It's Shearer-like.
Was there a man for whom it was so obviously written? Meant to be Dan Burn. That's how it feels. They've waited, and they've waited some more for that explosion, and Newcastle score first. At Wembley, in a cup final. Their first cup final goal here since Alan Gowling in 1976. Alan Gowling is 76 today. They are almost disbelieving.
Well, the question that I asked in the first minute was, would Newcastle turn up? The question should have been, will Liverpool turn up? They haven't in this first half. Newcastle have, and they've got their just rewards. It's been a really good, concentrated, solid performance, Arne Slot. I'm sure his men will recover and get better in the second half, but he'll be flabbergasted as to how passive they've been in this opening 45 minutes. There's been nothing there.
Taken back by McAllister. Salah in borrowed time at the end of the first half for Liverpool. Shaped in by Salah, set back by Diaz, and snatched at by Jota.
Well, the first time they get Salah on the ball in a dangerous position, something happens. Maybe that's a way forward. And a Slot will be telling them at half-time, get the ball to him. Half-time whistle's gone.
Half-time, and the noise is black and white. The big, broad shoulders of Dan Burn, prominent. He, the scorer of the only goal, as the clock ticked up to 45, and it is Newcastle who have a lead at the break. Half-time at Wembley Stadium in the 2025 Carabao Cup final. It is Liverpool 0, Newcastle United 1.
going to react after midweek going out against PSG, and they have been a bit lethargic, just not got that spark going. I haven't seen anything from Diaz, Salah, Jota yet, and it feels like it might be someone that maybe come off the bench to give them that little bit of a spark. But I also have to credit what Newcastle have done. They have been fantastic, tremendous energy from your team, Les.
Yeah, more the same from Newcastle. Just got to keep going at them. They're going to be thinking about the midweek game that Liverpool had last week, and know that they're sort of going to be getting tired. And so unless they change it, you expect Newcastle to do what they did in the first half.
Okay, Paul is on the centre spot. We're ready to go for the second half. Let's rejoin Gary and Peter.
Mark, thank you. Newcastle haven't trailed at all over the course of their run in this year's Carabao Cup. Indeed, they went out of last season's League Cup on penalties at Chelsea, so they haven't trailed in the League Cup since the 2023 final, which they lost here to Manchester United, and they lead now. And it is Liverpool, off the back of their draining week, who have it to do, Gary. How?
Yeah, they do, and the slot won't have had too many half times this season where he'll probably have been as angry with them, but just frustrated that they haven't played at all. Just up the tempo. Obviously, they've had that big game in midweek against Paris Saint-Germain where they've gone out in Europe, and maybe it's had a little bit more impact on them than we imagined. But we know, everybody knows that they'll come back in this second half, and Eddie Howe will as well.
Burke holding off for Tonali. Liverpool, who won last year's final under such stretched circumstances without Salah and Nunes and Szoboszlai and Alexander-Arnold, Jones and Jota.
What will be interesting is when Newcastle do get a corner, whether they've changed the setup, Liverpool at half-time.
So wrestling with Barnes.
What surprised me is that they've been really aggressive, Newcastle, which we thought they might be, but Liverpool need to be braver like that. They weren't doing that in the first half. You've got to draw Newcastle in, play around them.
Van Dijk to lead the team forward, and Jota to feed off him, and Diaz flying in, and Joe Linton did so very well to keep pace.
Brilliant. All round, really good play from Liverpool, but Joe Linton, exactly where you would want him to be. He's a retreating midfield player.
Konate, Diaz. Look. By Diaz, welcomed in by Salah, who can worry Livramento. Set it back for McAllister.
Already in 2 or 3 minutes, Liverpool have found more spaces than they did in the entirety of the first half.
Looking for McAllister. There was a cross.
Well, Jota had an option. Pull it back or drive it across the box, and he pulled it back, and it gave Joe Linton, celebrates another interception. He's on a hat-trick.
Konate away from Barnes. Yeah, strong, but surrounded. Murphy can look up. Isak's going through the middle. Again, Van Dijk is where he needs to be. Murphy once more. Van Dijk once more. Back for Quansah. Szoboszlai.
They've tried a number of times, Newcastle, to go over the top of Van Dijk. It's very difficult. He reads things so well. He's got a long stride. He can recover. He shakes his head. Canate monitoring Isak really well.
Livramento. Barnes wants to go round Quansah. Quansah's not having that, but he does have to surrender a corner.
Well, this will be interesting. All eyes on Dan Burn. Jamie Carragher asked for Jota to switch. He's not switched. McAllister's with him. You see, same again, lads.
McAllister's looking at his belly button.
Ben Burn looks like he's about to eat him.
Rooted in by Trippier, kept alive by Charlington, and touched it by Isak!
Offside.
But the flag is up. Isak has questions to ask.
Well, let's have a look. This is clever. They've released Joel Linton round the back. Oh, I think he could be onside. He's going to be onside.
There's going to be a question around Bruno Guimaraes and his proximity to the goalkeeper in an offside position.
Is it because Guimaraes is in front of Kelleher, maybe?
Yeah, that's the only reason why it can be given offside, because Isak's onside by a good half a yard, 2 yards. Guimaraes in the line of the keeper's vision there. He impedes the keeper from trying to get the ball, loses sight of the ball, the keeper. So that's why he's been given offside, Guimaraes. I'm sure the VAR will explain in a moment when the game resume why the decision is. But Isak's definitely onside. Guimaraes has to be interfering with the goalkeeper, hence the reason why he was given offside on field. A good decision by Eddie Smart on the line.
Here we go. So Isak, as that ball gets played, he's onside. It's Guimaraes there, the number 39 in front of Kelleher. I think Kelleher gets a good sight of the ball. We'll have to see from behind. But he has to dive around Guimaraes. That'll be the...
That's why he's been given offside. He's had to move around the keeper, or he's lost sight of the ball at first, but he's definitely offside. I think, judging by Eddie Howe's view there, I think he's agreed with it as well.
But what it doesn't do is settle Liverpool down on these corners.
Here's Livramento, Barnes outside of him. Harvey Barnes. Livramento kept moving. Livramento lifted it in, and Murphy is back stick. Now they're believing. The Geordie nation euphoric. It just might be happening.
Goal scorer for Newcastle, number 14, Alexander Isak.
And there is their point of difference.
Oh, this is really special. They're almost crying. I'm almost crying for them. There's a long way to go, though, but it's brilliant football down this left-hand side. And Livramento just stands it up to the back post. Murphy, really good. And then, that's not easy. That ball bounces a good yard in front of Isak, but he sweeps it into the net. What a finish. What a game!
History may be playing out here for Eddie Howe and his light entertainers. For the stellar face of Newcastle over the lifetime of most of us. There's the Angel of the North. Here's Sobersley. Liverpool have it to chase. Robertson has lifted it in. 70 years since a Wembley win, 56 since a trophy win. It's the best part of a decade since Newcastle beat Liverpool at all anywhere. And they're 2 up. Given back to Ravenberg. What have Liverpool got here? They've got plenty. Van Dijk.
There's a long way to go in this game, and Arne Slot's going to make changes.
Well, Curtis Jones is one of those who was so unfortunate to miss out a year ago because of injury in the League Cup final, so his first of these, and he is having to play in this environment.
I was taught before the game about Newcastle's players not getting too emotional, and they haven't. They've been absolutely spectacular in this first 55 minutes, but now is the time not to get too emotional, and that's going to be difficult because those fans behind that goal, they've gone.
In 2025, the League Cup final is coming to you right now in black and white.
Substitutions for Liverpool FC. Leaving the field number 20, Diogo Jota.
But here are a couple to inject a bit of colour for Liverpool.
Number 9, Darwin Nunez.
Nunez for Jota.
Number 5, Ibrahima Konate.
So what for
Konate
him
off.
has been a particularly draining week. The potential for a redemptive half hour here, and yes, Konate giving way here to Curtis Jones.
It's a big change. Gravenberch gone back to centre-back, Curtis Jones into midfield with McAllister, Szoboszlai. Yeah, I'm surprised. It feels like he needs a proper rattle, Arne Slot. He's not just going for like. It should be a great last half an hour.
Burns above Salah. Jones trapped by Tonali. Ravenberg in his new role. Van Dijk in his leadership role. Set by Livramento. Barnes. Foul against Quansah. And up he goes again. And he hasn't got any shorter.
And it's got to that point in the game where Konate's gone off. It's only really Van Dijk can handle him. He's almost got to say, well, I'm taking him. He doesn't look like he is at the moment. Maybe waiting for him as he might pull around the back.
Trooping with depth. Van Dijk away. Murphy will be there first. Cher. Slide against Guimaraes. Liverpool supporters have got used to coming to Wembley and winning. Winners after a penalty shootout in 22. Winners after extra time in 24. McAllister, Diaz, Szoboszlai. Oh, what a save, Pope! Reacting to the strike from Jones and turning it behind for a corner.
Yeah, look at those Liverpool fans now. And Curtis Jones from back to front was brilliant here. He sets off this attack with a wonderful bit of play, and then he ends up near the penalty spot and nearly gets Liverpool back in the game. problem is the shot is too close to Pope.
Tonali was caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, I think it's his own player that slides into him. They both fly in together. Just watch the follow through. I think Guimaraes follows through and even just sticks his studs up into him.
This time last year, of course, Sandro Tonali so sadly was kicking his heels. His first came back from that long ban, was the second round winning at Nottingham Forest at the end of August, and within a quarter of a minute of that game he was playing the pass that resulted in a Joe Willett goal 20 seconds into Newcastle United's League Cup campaign. It looks as though he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's going to be okay, and they're going to need him. It's a little warning for Newcastle. Half an hour is a long time in a football match, and if Liverpool were to get one, all hell would break loose.
There's a club that won't let this slip away. It is Liverpool. McAllister drifts it in. Van Dijk attacks it. Szoboszlai. Turning around Barnes. Jones from deep. Szoboszlai. Diaz. Jones, Diaz, Jones, terrific block, Joelinton.
There's Joelinton's hat-trick. There he is, and that's one of his best. He's made some crucial challenges, the midfield player. He follows Robertson back. Could have gone in. Been past Pope, past his left foot.
Well, this is feeling like a Liverpool response. They've upped it. In by McAllister, out by Pope. McAllister. Szoboszlai. Lifted in by Szoboszlai. And it's a cannon kindly for Nick Pope.
Yeah, Liverpool fans, I think, behind the goal are just questioning the challenge of Dan Burn. I think it is on Kwanzaa saying he's late, and then Nunez's touch bounces off him. That's the problem for Nunez. He's just not got that little subtleness in his game. Subtlety in his game, sorry, in the final third.
Trippier. Support from Guimaraes. Taken up by Murphy. Guimaraes. Led by Van Dijk. Charged down by Tonali. Isak. Tonali. Scratched away by Kwanzaa. Back by Joelinton. In goes Guimaraes. And Barnes. And Isak. And what a block on the line by Kelleher. And the game's still just about alive. Taken back by Cher. Fabian Cher.
You're right, Peter. The game was nearly over. It's a beautiful little cross. And Barnes plays it across. It's a touch behind Isak, which makes it a little bit difficult for him. But he gets a good contact on it. Kelleher was just grateful. It's very close to him.
Long by Byrne. Down. Joe Linton is the player who's gone down for Newcastle.
Yeah,
Isak's
gone
also down, yeah. Time is clearly Newcastle's friend. Joe Linton needn't be in any hurry. But you'll remember he had a relatively recent and quite significant knee issue, Joe Linton.
Oh, what a threat he's been in the opposing box, Dan Byrne. It's a wonderful header. It's a free header, but there's still so much to do. And then Isak, his class.
The weight on their shoulders is so substantial, unique in the context of their 20th and 21st century history. And for that weight to be lifted by those goals, just to see how the mood lightens.
Leaving the field, number 10, Alexis McAllister. Replaced by number 18, Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, Mike, you just made the point to me that Joe Linton and Isak will have to go off now for 30 seconds and Newcastle will be down to 9 men.
Liverpool change, Gakpo for McAllister, who played a ferocious 90 minutes on Tuesday. And Gakpo, of course, is the competition specialist. 4 goals in this competition last year, 5 more than anyone else in this year's League Cup. 9 in 10 starts.
I'm not sure Liverpool have worked it out yet, but they're actually playing against 9 men.
Salah, Jones, poked out by Dan Byrne, who's kept on marching.
Oh, the two on the far side are on as well.
And Isak's come on now and is joining straight in. It's Isak, and Joe Linton couldn't quite catch it up. Well, that was a shade sneaky.
At one point you're thinking this could be a real controversy, and at the other end you're thinking it could turn into their favour. Look at them on the far side, the two coming on. Just doesn't get it right. The pass Isak to Joe Linton.
Nice bumped over by Soboslai. Given a little bit of TLC by his boss. Remember the embrace when they lost 2 years ago? One of the images of the 2023 final. The tears of Bruno, the hug and the empathy of Eddie Howe. His relationships with the players are so very evidently tight and trusting. Shares one a header, and he's won it again, and he's fed it for Barnes. Cher had it taken off his toe by Van Dijk. Nunes taken back by Murphy, who's rolled it wide.
Well, you'd have to think there's going to be more goals. Liverpool throwing the kitchen sink at it. They've got Gravenberch at centre-back. They've now got 4 strikers on the pitch. The game's so open.
Jones for Salah. Liverpool hungering for a moment. Luis Diaz, Curtis Jones, Quansah.
We've got Jones and Szoboszlai in midfield. Nunez, Gakpo.
And it's Gakpo who plays it in and Pope who claims it.
Diaz and Salah up top. I've never seen Mo Salah as quiet as I've seen him in this game. And Liverpool, look at that. I just would not have believed that they would have been so ineffective. 70 minutes in, they've been dominated.
Nowhere for Gravenberch to go and 20 minutes to play. For Newcastle folk, 20 minutes after 70 years. What would Jackie Milburn be thinking?
Just been told that Mo Salah, 25 minutes into this second half, has had 3 touches. I knew it was a few, but it was so few.
And if Liverpool do lose here, they will at least, of course, have the consolation of knowing that there is a Premier League for them crying out to be won. And their fixtures are prominent amongst those we will bring you live on Sky Sports through the month of April. There's a Manchester derby in there too. And Liverpool have a couple of changes soon to make. Free kick against an angered Szoboszlai.
Yeah, beyond the Newcastle second goal, I thought Liverpool would recover. They're actually getting worse in the game. I'm not quite sure the substitutes are helping them because they're losing control. They've lost the ability to sustain attacks. The midfield now is so scattered. There's gaps everywhere. It's actually getting easier in some ways, the game for Newcastle, even though they've got those 4 strikers on. Still quite a way to go, but they're in a good place.
By Robertson. A play by Diaz. Chiesa's going to get a game. Elliott's going to get a game.
More subs.
Darwin Nunez. Jarell Quansah. Too much on it for Gakpo. Well, Arne Slot is going for hell for leather now, as he's obliged to. What a chance for Federico Chiesa truly to launch himself as a Liverpool player, and he replaces Gravenberch, so that is going to result in yet more defensive reorganisation.
It's going to be Kenny. He's gone 3 at the back. Quansah, Van Dijk and Robertson, unless he's putting someone over here at right back. Is Elliott going to come over here to right back maybe? Not sure.
Harvey Elliott is on for Luis Diaz. And Harvey Elliott coming on as a very, very young man in the 2022 final and scoring one of those 11 perfect penalties.
If Newcastle are sensible here and pass and play properly, they should score again.
Foul on Gakpo.
Because at some point Kwanzaa and Robertson will leave Van Dijk isolated on his own at the back, and I know he's good.
But if Liverpool score the next goal, then the jeopardy will become immense.
Yeah. He has totally gone for it on this slot. He's just thrown shape out of the window and said, I'm just going to put the most attacking players on the pitch and see what they can do.
Szoboszlai, Gakpo. Szoboszlai. Kwanzaa. Salah. No way past Livramento, but it is a Liverpool corner.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting this last 15 minutes. Liverpool have got 5-6 bodies in the box. The counter-attack's going to be on. It's going to be all action.
Flung in by Elliott. Pope did get fingers on it, importantly so. Tonali chases out to meet Szoboszlai, who is not standing on ceremony now. In by Szoboszlai, partially out by Livramento. It's come to Harvey Elliott. Whipped in by Chiesa, away by Cher. Protected by Guimaraes, touched on by Isak. Barnes can release him. Isak can lengthen his stride, but so too can Andy Robertson. Salah. $88,500 people in Wembley this afternoon, and not too many of them are neutral. Gakpo, Szoboszlai. Robertson against Murphy. We're inside the final quarter of an hour. Robertson, out of the way by Livramento. Kwanzaa. Lofted out towards Gakpo. Taken up by Chiesa. He's won a free kick.
He just goes over the ball, Guimaraes. Dangerous.
Liverpool at a point of increasingly urgent need. Szoboszlai and Gakpo either side of the ball. Szoboszlai plays it in, Byrne thumpingly away. Robertson towards Jones. Chiesa, Gakpo from wide. Elliott. Szoboszlai couldn't progress, but insisted on having it back. Elliott.
This is better for Liverpool.
In by Elliott. Cher was firm.
His touch. Not quite sure. To the penalty. The ball gets played into Chiesa's feet. He has the real chance. I think if his touch is just a bit tighter, he can maybe get the shot away. Just runs away from him.
Elliott. By Byrne, forward again by Elliott. Salah. Robertson. Chiesa. Elliott. Jones. Isak's down again. Callum Wilson has been warming up, preparing, and is now ready to play his part.
Substitutions for Newcastle. Leaving the field, number 14, Alexander Isak.
He has had his moment for sure.
And this is his moment of the match. Concentration on the contact as it bounces in front of him.
Number 9, Callum Wilson. Also leaving the field, number 11, Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes also being replaced into the last 10 minutes here, in his case by Joe Willock, who launched the League Cup run with that goal after 18-20 seconds at the City Ground, Nottingham.
Yeah, it just beefs up that midfield.
Eddie Howe has only beaten Liverpool once in his entire career with Bournemouth and with Newcastle, and when he did that, Callum Wilson was a scorer for him.
He's 10 minutes away, Eddie Howe, from being in a very special position, delivering silverware to Newcastle United.
Willock. Joelinton, and again, Joelinton just dragged it a shade.
He's been really good, Joelinton, on and off the ball.
Van Dijk forward, Share back. Tonali, lovely take and turn. Sandro Tonali, has spilt it. Livramento. Willock's gone beyond him. Tino Livramento wins a corner last off Curtis Jones. Quick to indicate it struck him high on the chest. Darkening Wembley skies. Newcastle nearly there. Trippier's deep corner. And out as far as Willock. Came down for Callum Wilson, who had a fly. A couple of weeks of internationals and FA Cup ties, and then we're back with a midweek Premier League programme, which includes the Merseyside derby from Anfield. Wednesday the 2nd of April from 7 o'clock, and the London derby at the Bridge, Chelsea Spurs on the Thursday night, April the 3rd. Gakpo. How must it be to be in the shoes of Eddie Howe now? Painfully close, but not yet done. Gakpo.
His team have been brilliant, particularly in their defensive work. They really have restricted Liverpool. Liverpool all season, if they haven't got goals in the first half, they've been able to make changes with the firepower on the bench. But they've had no answer today, and those Newcastle fans are so close to something that's going to be quite memorable.
And he wants to be a part of it. The Scouser in black and white, who would love to have played Anthony Gordon. He's certainly in the thick of it. 1955 since Newcastle won here. The year Anthony Eden succeeded Winston Churchill. Sterling Moss won the British Grand Prix at Aintree. England won the Ashes down under. And then Hutton. And a Scotsman, a wing half named Jimmy Schooler, lifted the FA Cup for Doug Livingston at Wembley. For Doug Livingston, read Eddie Howe 5 minutes from now, unless Liverpool can find something. Bob Paisley lost his first of these in 1978, but their record in this final is a special one, and falling short is unfamiliar and sore.
Yeah, they've been so reliable all season, Liverpool. So unlike them.
Dug out by Joelinton, away by Quansah. Harvey Elliott. Curtis Jones from right back. Quansah. Van Dijk. Having to force it now. Gakpo. Szoboszlai from deeper than he wants to be. Quansah.
That sums Liverpool's day up. They really haven't had anything as an attacking threat. What's happened to them? We know they went out in Europe in midweek. They really have been way off it.
All of Newcastle's history. Forward by Robertson. Got a fair bit to do. The number we're hearing unofficially is 7 minutes of stoppage time. It ain't done yet. Elliott. Jones flung up towards Van Dijk. Away by Trippier. Murphy stopped by Chiesa. Nunes. Elliott eager. Aimed up towards Jones. Out of the reach of Salah. After this, 17 days without a game for Arne Slot, and then 9 mighty games. This is what he wanted. Murphy's hobbling now, and his afternoon may shortly be over. He has lived the Newcastle story over most of the last decade, and he has certainly lived this afternoon. He's hobbling round like a Cinderella whose slipper doesn't fit.
Lundstram's been sat down and changed their mind on the substitution, Newcastle, and who it's going to be.
Gakpo was booked for delaying the restart. We are in the 90th minute, and now Jacob Murphy does give way. Emil Kraft is on in his stead. Defensive reinforcement.
Yeah, they've gone to a back 5-4-1. Liverpool have got 6 or 7 players up top. So Eddie Howe's just bolstered his defence, added to it.
It is 8 minutes of stoppage time.
Van Dijk's up top now as well.
8 minutes, which for them is going to feel like about 3 weeks.
It was never going to be easy, mate.
History says that.
Imagine the club the size of Newcastle not winning a trophy for 70 years, a domestic trophy.
Half for Callum Wilson. Here comes Kelleher.
It's incredible.
56 since Bobby Moncur lifted the 1969 Fairs Cup for Joe Harvey. Class of Willie McFall and Frank Clark and Pop Robson and Wyn Davis.
56 years from any trophy, 70 years from a domestic trophy.
9 consecutive Wembley defeats, 5 major final defeats. Guimaraes. Nibbled from behind by Gakpo.
And they can sense it, these Newcastle fans. They're getting so close. Try getting that lot into work tomorrow. Be a Geordie bank holiday.
I would think productivity by the time will be low. Willock taking on Quansah.
If you've got a bar in Newcastle and you've normally closed on a Sunday night, get down there and open it right now.
Kaching. What's your line, Gary? Where do you want your statue? He's not ready to celebrate yet. There are 5.5 minutes left in this football match. Burns up again. Elliott. Soboslai. Jones. Salah. Elliott. Liverpool are not done. Aimed up towards Nunez. Gakpo on the turn. Darwin Nunez into the crowd. And buried away by Guimaraes. Joelinton. Taken back by Elliott. Rolled up here for Chiesa!
Oh dear!
Hang on!
Oh, he's off.
Oh, he's offside.
He took it so well, Chiesa. It's a beautiful pass from Harvey Barnes. Oh, I think he's onside. This goal's going to count. And Newcastle United, you're playing against a club who can come back against you. He's on.
Yeah, to the naked eye looking at now, he clearly looks at least half a yard onside. I just don't think Fabian Schär's got out quite quick enough. I think this goal will be given.
Hold your breath. Wait for the reaction. That looks pretty conclusive.
Yeah, hold your breath. And don't quite head down to that bar in Newcastle yet. Take your time.
It's Stuart Atwell's call to make. It's Chiesa's goal by which this final hangs. The line is green, And the Liverpool reaction will be telling.
It's a really good finish from Chiesa. His touch is really good with his right foot. He hits it with his left. They're just checking other stuff. I think this goal is going to stand, and we're going to have a blockbuster the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Checking the build-up.
No, that's not a foul. That is not a foul. He lost control of the ball. Guimaraes was messing around with it in the middle of midfield.
And this delay so far is very nearly 2 minutes, which we're going to have to add on. We're going to be heading up towards 100 minutes by the time it's done. And here's the announcement.
After review, the Liverpool number 14 is onside, and the final decision is a goal.
And there's life left in the final.
And
He was almost the last to know, but he has given Liverpool a prayer here.
And this just gets really interesting. There's going to be 4 or 5 minutes left to play. Chiesa, right foot, concentration, left foot, goal. And Eddie Howe shakes his head.
It's on hold. It is still on hold.
And Liverpool have got all the firepower on the pitch. Van Dijk, he's the one that you would worry about. Virgil van Dijk up top. Alan Shearer nervous.
And all of that history weighs heavy again. And we're hearing that on top of the 8 minutes originally added, there will be an extra 2.5. We're going past 100 here. The emotion in the stadium is suffocating.
Well, I know it was a big decision to get right, but VAR took an age, scared of their own shadow now to make a mistake.
Bruno's won a throw and he's celebrating it. It's about time now. About time and time.
It's interesting, just watching Van Dijk. Look at these two on the halfway line, Van Dijk and Byrne.
Wilson wants to keep it down there. Chiesa wants it in a hurry. Guimaraes is holding him up. Kelleher's got it now and he can launch it. Chiesa was booked in amongst all of that. Cher won his header. Szoboszlai couldn't keep it. Keeping the ball wins the game for Newcastle. They want more than that. Tonali, Willock, Wilson through the middle. Corner flag will do for now.
Tonali's done really well there. Willock's picked it up, but Tonali was brilliant.
You see +8 in the top corner there. Add a couple on. And Tonali is being booked for tying his laces.
Been tied for 98 minutes. They're bound to come undone, aren't they? He's going to get booked again if he's not careful. He better take it, and he'll be off.
Willock. 99 minutes. Was ever there a champagne cork waiting to escape? Tonali, that'll do him. Guimaraes. Robertson. Chance for one more Liverpool launch. Szoboszlai. Salah. He's kept it from Joelinton. Forward by Salah towards Van Dijk. Taken back by Joelinton. Clattered forward for Wilson, who can have a run now.
Go to the corner. Go to the corner.
And Callum Wilson has gone conservative. But he lost it to Szoboszlai.
What's he doing?
We're past 100 minutes. Liverpool in emergency time.
Well, Joelinton threw Harvey Elliott to the ground beneath us.
And there is a VAR check here. Potential violent conduct.
Yeah, it was cynical. I don't think it was violent conduct, but it was definitely cynical. He threw him to the ground off the ball just down beneath us. Just watch this.
Yeah, just a careless pull really by Joelinton. He's never going to get the ball. He just tried to bring Elliott down just to stop him trying to go with the attack, but missed by the on-field referee. Picked up by VAR, checked and cleared.
This for them is painful. Kelleher lumped it forward. Van Dijk won a header. Out came Joelinton. At last! At long, long last! Newcastle United are winners! The Geordie nation has its hands on a trophy! Eddie Howe can walk on the River Tyne! 56 years since the last time! 7 long decades since last! They painted Wembley black and white! The curse is broken! The famine is at an end! All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces. And it was the local hero who set them on their way. And there will be no quenching the tears. Alan Shearer, sweet 16 again. And Bruno Guimaraes is with Patrick on the pitch.
Bruno, tears of sadness 2 years ago, tears of absolute joy now. How does it feel?
7 years. It's a lot for these fans. They deserve everything. When I first came here, I said, I want to put my name in the club's history. And that's it. After 7 years, we can now say we are the champions again. The fans deserve everything. It's one of the best days of my life.
They had already taken you to their hearts, but look behind you. Look at what you've done for them.
I don't have any words. It's one of the best days of my life. They deserve it. I said, for them, this is like the World Cup, you know. People's died, people's growing up, and they have not seen Newcastle champions, and now they are seeing, you know. We are here to make history. I'm very happy. My first year as a captain of this club, and this is one of the best days. The team, the fans, the owners, we deserve this, man. We deserve. Look at this. This is unbelievable.
And just lastly, look, you came here without a word of English, maybe not knowing so much about the club, but you've made yourself a Newcastle hero. Your boys were born in the city. How much do you care about them?
This is my second home. Since when I started for the club, from the relegation, Champions League, and now champions. I think we are making history. Someday when I will leave this club, I want the fans sing my name the same they do to Shearer today. You know, when we have seen him in the tent today, he gave you his power. He texted me before the game. Yeah, that's it. I'm so emotional today.
Well done, you're a hero now.
Thank you.
Shay Given, these are special scenes if you are part of the Toon Army.
Oh my God, I didn't kick a ball, Mark, but that last 8 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes of extra time, I was going through the ringer over there, my heart was racing out my chest. What a day. I mean, 70 years is just unbelievable. I was getting emotional myself just seeing the faces of the fans and the players and the celebrations. It's just, I don't know, it's all bottled up in this one moment. We've waited so long for this trophy, for any trophy, and it's just a special moment.
Standing next to you in the mouth of an entrance to the pitch, Les Ferdinand, by the Newcastle fans, I thought you and most of them were going to be sick during that last 10 minutes.
Yeah, you know what, I was here 2 years ago, and the side lost to Man United 2 years ago, and these supporters stayed right to the end and clapped them off the pitch. I've been part of a group that lost here in the Charity Shield 4-0, and we got clapped off the pitch by these guys. I am so happy for these supporters to be able to come to Wembley tonight and win and go home and celebrate. They'll be celebrating till the cows come home, and they deserve it, because it's absolutely magnificent. Just look at them.
And we saw Eddie Howe there, Shay, and do you know what? We're going to hear from them all, and we'll see the trophy lift and everything for as long as we're here at Wembley over the next hour or so, however long that may be. But when all those Newcastle players went to support, Eddie Howe went round every single member of that Liverpool team and shook their hands before he went to join the celebrations.
Well, it just shows the class of the man himself. First major trophy for him as a manager, and he's thinking about the opposition, because he's been there a couple of years ago. He's been on the losing side, he knows how it feels, but take nothing away from his celebrations now. You know, there's a statue at St James's Park of Bobby Robson. Maybe they'll start building one of Eddie Howe. He's done such an amazing job. He's united the city, he's united the club, and he's gone on from strength to strength. The first trophy now, hopefully it's the first of many.
All the reaction then, and the trophy lift to come. Newcastle have won the 2025 Carabao Cup. It feels at one end of the stadium and Liverpool are already up, going to pick up their runners-up medals. And Jamie Carragher, it wasn't their day at all today, was it? They never really got going.
No, I mean, Newcastle didn't just win today, they battered Liverpool, really, and they should have been 3 or 4-0. Liverpool got, a consolation at the end. I find it difficult to be too critical, considering, what this team have sort of looking like they will go on to achieve this season, which was something that probably not many people expected. But, I mean, Liverpool were poor in Paris Saint-Germain, but you can understand in terms of the opposition you were against. Newcastle are a good Premier League team, but they've absolutely wiped the floor with them, and Liverpool's legs have just run out of steam, and just from their point of view, thankfully they've got a decent lead in the Premier League, and hopefully they'll be able to see that home.
We'll talk a lot more about Liverpool in a little while. The cheers you can hear are because the pictures you are seeing, the Newcastle fans are seeing as well. So they saw the engraver, Les, putting Newcastle United onto the trophy. They see Dan Burn holding up his winner's 25 shirt, which has got Sam Fender written underneath as well. They are seeing exactly what people are seeing at home.
Yeah, no, fantastic. They've waited a long time. And we spoke about at the start of the show, 70 years since they last tasted victory here at Wembley, and they're going to enjoy this. They're going to stay here. I don't think we'll get out of Wembley tonight. I'm not sure we'll get out of London tonight, but they deserve their celebrations today.
Look, if you are connected to Liverpool, this is a disappointing afternoon. But aside from that, you'd either have a heart of stone or be a Sunderland fan to not feel some kind of warmth and joy for the fans in particular of this football club.
Absolutely, Mark. They've had a lot of pain. They've had to really suffer. They've been at Wembley many times and things haven't gotten their way, not performed at this level. I think Shay said it right at the start of the show. He said it just feels different this time. 2 years ago they were here. It was almost like they were making up the numbers. But from minute one, I remember Bruno Guimaraes running onto the pitch before the game started. I was like, wow, he means business. And so did his team. They won every second ball. They were much better in possession. They got all the right details of the set pieces. They exploited Liverpool's weaknesses, and they were fantastic today. I must admit, so you have to congratulate them. Liverpool hopefully will, obviously I'd love to see them get that league title wrapped up, but you have to congratulate what Newcastle have done. They were magnificent today.
Did it surprise you? I mean, Jamie Carragher said they battered Liverpool today. Did it surprise you how dominant they were for large periods of that game?
I think the energy levels seemed to be higher than Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool had extra time midweek at Paris Saint-Germain. I was saying to Jamie Offer, I was surprised that Arne Slot didn't change it against Southampton between the two Paris Saint-Germain games to freshen his squad up. They did look a bit flat, a wee bit tired today, Rugal. But I just don't want to talk anything else of the Newcastle, the levels they performed. I mean, Joe Linton was all over the park, covered every blade of grass, and he was celebrating tackles like he was scoring goals at times, and that lifted the fans. And I don't know, Mark, you can't say anything negative with this Newcastle team. I mean, to see the engraver on the trophy do that was just something special as well.
And as you can see, they've changed their shirts. They have winners 25 shirts on as they go up those steps. Peter Drury.
Well, thank you, Mark. And just think of the greats, the generations who haven't had these moments in a Newcastle shirt. It didn't happen for Super Mac or Terry Mack or Keegan or Waddle or Gascoigne or Beardsley, for Ginola or Ferdinand, Shea Given, Super Alan Shearer. None of them got what these guys are getting now. How proud, you can't help reflecting, would Bobby Robson be in this moment? 70 years of Newcastle people who didn't experience what Bruno Guimaraes and crew are going to experience now.
No, it's absolutely magnificent. It really is. Those fans behind that goal, a lot of them, most of them never seen silverware, never seen Newcastle United win a trophy, which is just incredible. But that's about to change, and they're going to see the captain and the manager lift silverware for the first time in 56 years, the first time in 70 years. I know we keep repeating it, but for a club the size and scale of Newcastle, in my first 10 years doing this job, it was so sad going up to St James's Park. The atmosphere had gone, but it's back.
Well, they're the 24th different winners of the Football League Cup, the first time winners since Swansea 12 years ago. 1969 Budapest, Joe Harvey, Bobby Moncur and his crew, always revered but no longer the last. And for a Wembley moment like this, 70 years, a whole Geordie lifetime since a Scottish wing half called Jimmy Schooler was handed the cup by the Queen. And now a big broad boy from Blythe scores a goal, and Newcastle United are winners again. He could reach up and touch the Wembley arch. And there's the man whose privilege it is. Kieran Trippier, captain when they lost a couple of years ago, but ready to share the moment. A winner's medal, and behind him the trophy.
I'm delighted for Eddie Howe, I really am.
For the first time since forever, in glorious black and white, the winners are Newcastle United. Newcastle's day, and boy is this going to be Newcastle's night. Shares in Newquay Brown are rocketing. Big market is where it's at, and let tomorrow morning look after itself.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Not what we expected at the start of the day, but Those Newcastle fans, I drove up this morning, thousands of them on the motorway, taking them 5 and 6 hours to get here, and their dreams have come true.
Well, Mark, for how many years, for our lifetimes, we have asked ourselves the question rhetorically and out loud, what will it be like when Newcastle finally win one? We're finding out.
Very nice, Peter and Gary, and we are finding out, and we are going to find out over the coming days as well, because these celebrations are going to last and last and last. And you can see Shearer on the big screen here, which is why they're cheering. With about 15 minutes ago, I texted him, "Are you calm?" I can't tell you what he replied. Again, it's taken off there. It is kind of, I know it's hard if you've got the Liverpool connections, but as regards English football, the more teams that win trophies, the better, really.
No, I've said that for a long time. I mean, the way the game's become, there's too many teams now. I'm talking about big teams, and Newcastle being one of them, but not anymore. I've gone too long without winning a trophy. You think of Tottenham, you think of Aston Villa, you think of Everton, Newcastle before. These are huge football clubs, and obviously, I'm gutted Liverpool didn't win today, but if there was any team that you'd probably accept or be happy to lose to, it's probably Newcastle, because they've gone so long, they've got a support, huge support, real passion for the game up in the North East. So, as I said, yeah, it's a tough one to take. If you're going to lose to anyone, it's probably, I'd probably say Newcastle.
We do so many of these games. Take them seriously, because this is what can happen.
Absolutely, and even throughout this tournament, throughout this competition, I remember watching, I did both semi-finals where they were incredible against Arsenal. They bashed them, they got after them, they were aggressive. And what I like about this Newcastle team is they're almost a bit of a throwback with obviously that new school and being great at all the right details, but they get the ball forward, they win second balls, the midfield's aggressive, they've got people like Joe Linton and Guimaraes in midfield. Dan Burn has been absolutely magnificent at the back. It's really refreshing to see, because week in, week out, I see teams playing out from the back, playing at the goalkeeper, and sometimes it can drive you insane. But this Newcastle side, under that man there, are really refreshing. It's really exciting to see, and I'd like to see teams that do play like this get success, because it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It's just you've got to play with that energy that Newcastle do play with.
People may think as well as, you know, you lot in the media bang on about Newcastle not having won a trophy for so long, but since they last won one, 31 teams in the football pyramid have won trophies. That's why we banged on about it.
Yeah, and they've been so close on so many occasions, and as Jamie said, it's you know, you see Newcastle as a big team, and if you see people as a big team, a lot of people say, well, it's about the trophies that you win that make you a big team, and Newcastle haven't been able to do that. The fan base is unbelievable, and hopefully this is the start of a journey that they go on, and it's going to be, you always need that first win, and they've got that now, and hopefully they can take that on and to win more things.
He said, didn't he, right at the start when he took over, the aim is to win a trophy. That's what Eddie Howe said.
I think Led's right. This can be a springboard for what happens next, what happens in the summer, recruitment. They can attract new players. Can they compete in the Champions League? Can they get in the Champions League this season? And invariably, I think the new ownership, they want to win the Premier League at some point. I know that doesn't happen overnight, but this is the sort of improvement season after season. I just feel this group of players now, after getting their hands on the silverware today, the amount of pressure that's eased as much as anything. Is someone just took the lid off a pressure cooker. The pressure's eases now. And I think teams in the past, getting that first trophy under the belt is massive.
And the one thing they were talking about was Eddie Howe. If he didn't win today, would there be question marks over him? Because you've now gone to 2 finals, you've got into the Champions League, but you still haven't won anything. Now everyone can relax and allow him to carry on doing the job that he's doing, because he's done an absolutely fantastic job here with these Newcastle players.
But when you build a football club, it's progression, it's small steps, isn't it? And their trajectory is going only one way.
Yeah, but this is a massive step. I mean, the Eddie Howe and these players are legends. That's it. It's done in some ways. No matter what happens next with Eddie Howe and this team, they will always be remembered for this. I know what Shay's saying, but we know with the new rules now with PSR, it's difficult in terms of just going out and doing what Chelsea did or Manchester City did originally. So that makes it more difficult. But I mean, for Eddie Howe, I mean, Gary said before how pleased he was for him. I absolutely love Eddie Howe to bits. I think he's a brilliant coach. He's been on a brilliant journey. And Jamie mentioned about the style of play. Eddie Howe was always hammered but he was a coach at Bournemouth for playing the type of way Jamie was mentioned. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, but I think since he's come to Newcastle, he's massively improved as a coach. He can play different ways, he can play great football, but what they did today was physically absolutely batter Liverpool.
And there they go with their second trophy lift of the afternoon. They were waiting for Eddie Howe to join them. The champagne has popped, the streamers are going, and Bruno Guimaraes, I don't think he's going to let go of that Carabao Cup. He shared the lift with Kieran Trippier, but they are keeping hold of that. And Jamal Lascelles is in there as well as one of the other leadership groups who is out through injury at the moment. And Jamie Redknapp, Eddie Howe, comes the first Englishman to get his hands on the trophy as a coach since your dad.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. It's actually sad when you think about how long ago that was. I think they went, well, Portsmouth, they were here many years ago. But Eddie deserves it. You know, he's been a brilliant coach. He's so forward-thinking. The job that he's done here. At times they've had their hands behind their back as well because they haven't perhaps had the finances that everybody expected them to have, but they've done it so well, and he's improved players. Like what he's done with Joe Linton. Joe Linton was, like, no disrespect, they were signed as a number 9, didn't work out for him. He's turned into a midfield powerhouse, and that's such credit to the manager. Today, they have no Anthony Gordon, no Hall, didn't matter, not one bit. They were absolutely brilliant today and fully deserved this win.